because, I'm not responsible for the success of this.
Right. You can let me screw it up, Ron.
You are. The omen's on you.
Well, what I like to do, and what you do on your show, and I remember we talked about Tom Snyder did it. I don't like to call it interviewing as much as having conversations.
That's right.
And I'd rather listen to a conversation than
That's right.
question. I mean, that's boring to me. But
that's exactly correct.
I hope it isn't boring to the audience, but that's the way I like to do it. So
it sounds too staged. It's too structured,
yeah.
And William F. Buckley Jr. is a prime example.
Oh yeah,
with the stopwatch, the clipboard. I mean, he looked like the Terminator.
That's right.
Checking off what's wrong.
I could never understand what he was saying. I mean, the words I understood, but the way he said it, he had a very difficult way to understand them.
You're very clueless. I was the same way.
Yeah.
And I thought that I was like, a little bit above the average line when it came to listening to broadcasters, but I don't know what he was saying.
No, I had no clue. No. Well, Ron, we've got a couple minutes left, and we always like to let you sound off on something, Ron. Whatever's bothering you politically or whatever. You got anything today?
Oh man, that's I asked Chris Matthews one time. I said, "Tell me something I don't know," which was a bit that he does on his show, and he was like stunned. I wish I would have. I guess I wish I would have thought of that, but there are several things, and because I think about this mosque that they're building next to Ground Zero in New York, and the controversy around that. I think about this oil spill, and I think about these political ads that are running on the air right now in the state of Florida for governor and state senator and everything else. And it's just hard for me to comprehend when it comes to politics that you have to spend so much money in order to have any kind of a chance in a political office. And with all the money you got to spend and all the people that are in the state that are great people, how we come down to like 4, 5, 6, 10, 12 people who don't seem to be the cream of the crop. How does that happen?
I know. Yeah.
How does that happen? Is money apparently, as it always is with everything else, is the determining factor. But, we have some candidates, and I won't mention them, but we've got most of them who are really just unbelievably unqualified to do this, and they're going to be running the show.
A little scary when you think of that.
It's frightening. It's frightening.
No, I agree with you. I think just because you have the biggest checkbook shouldn't allow you automatically to be able to buy your way in. But
I think I've told you this before, Doug. I really believe this. Okay, I think term limits on the president is no longer necessary. The news media is strong enough. As soon as a president gets in there for the second term, he's a lame duck.
Yeah.
If he's a young guy, he'll try for the third term. He'll try hard. Those 4 years are just to save his reputation and raise money for the library. I think 6 years, unlimited, for a senator is too long, and I think 2 years for a congressman, unlimited, is too short.
Too short, yeah.
I think they should put 4 years for Senate, 4 years for Congress, limited to 2 terms, and unlimited for the president with 4-year terms.
Yeah, I agree. The congressman, you get in, and then a year later, you have to start raising money to run again. So that second year is a wasted year, pretty much.
I had aspirations one time to be in the political arena. Somebody said, why don't you run for Congress? I says, because the second that you put your pictures in the office, hang them up, you're raising money for the next election.
One. That's right.
I mean, it's a constant money-raising situation.
Yeah, you're going to the rubber chicken dinners and handout. You got to ask for donations. It's a tough deal.
It's a very tough deal. It always has been a very tough deal. But I think the news media controls it so much right now that you really and truly have to look at these career politicians and say, look, we got to put you on a timeline. Either get it done or get out. If you were working for, Lockheed Martin or General Electric or any big company, if you don't produce in a matter of a few years, you're history.
You're out. Yeah.
You're out.
Well, Ron, I hope that makes you feel a little bit better. You don't have to go to the psychiatrist anymore. I try and do my part, Ron, to give you a chance to vent.
I could have actually used you about 3 weeks ago. I was on a ramp about something. You know, it's funny you should say that because actually, I was thinking one time of doing one of the segments on my show and calling it something like Ron's Rage.
Yeah, right.
You know, and just maybe not even use it, just tape it and then just then throw it away. But every once in a while I think to myself, I'd just like to get on the air and tell people what I really think. But that's, again, the show's not about me, you know.
But, well, Ron, it's always great to talk. I know we could do this for hours like we always say, but appreciate you taking a few minutes on this Sunday. I know it's your day off, but let's not make it a year next time, and we'll talk to you real soon.
Doug, I enjoy this, and you could call me on Christmas morning when we're unwrapping presents, and I would do this with you. I really mean this. I enjoy this very much. I appreciate your support over the years and our friendship, and you do a great job on the air. You're a talented broadcaster. And I look at your website with your different extra activities that you do in the entertainment business with production companies and everything else. You're quite a guy, and I am honored that you ask me, even if it's a year apart from one another. But you could, I'd be available for you anytime, any place.
Well, I appreciate that, Ron, and you can check out Ron's show, obviously, on his website, which is just ronseggi.com, right?
That's correct.
Which airs on the weekends, and in this market, too. I believe WENG carries it on 1530, so that's a great show. And the Tonight Show of radio, which is dubbed. Did Ed dub that for you?
No, actually, that was one of the reasons why he thought it was kind of cute to do me that introduction that he did, because he said that that was pretty clever, you know. But no, we came up with that ourselves.
Yeah,
actually, recently, a consultant, who usually is somebody that hasn't made it in this business.
That's right.
They've become a consultant.
Don't get me started on that.
Yeah, that's right. There's Doug's rage. But actually what happened was, somebody said to me, you should rename that as The Tonight Show with Johnny, like The Tonight Show with Johnny Carson. Because
no,
The Tonight Show
same.
now is more of a comedy show.
Yeah.
And even though it was comedy with Johnny, it was a different era.
Right.
But no, that's what we try to model it after.
Well, we'll do next show. We'll get back into that topic. We didn't even touch on that, the whole situation that happened last year with the Jay. We'll touch on that in the fall sometime with Conan coming back and all that.
And I'll think of a new rage.
Right. Ron, good to talk to you, and thanks for being with us.
Thanks, Doug. Thank you so much, and look forward to seeing you soon.
Great. Thanks, Ron.
Thanks, Doug.
Right.